guys, welcome back. Okay, so Aries, by the way, my Aries was just here. He's very needy today, my doggy is. Anyway, we are going to do a storytelling today. This is not intended to be any kind of a love reading. This is kind of well, you'll see. It's just a kind of a different little check-in. I wanted to do something that specifically love may come up, but that's not the intention here. So we have three different kind of like main themes here. First off, we've got the Hanged Man. Okay, we've got the Hierophant in the upright, and then we've got the Two of Wands in the reverse. So, and by the way, Hanged Man is in the reverse. So let's take these one at a time. So the Hanged Man in the reverse, a decision has been made. We've done looking at life from all these different angles, all these different perspectives. And this was something about gaining wisdom. And I say that because on this card, the Hanged Man is literally, I'll show it to you in the upright. He's hanging is by the foot over by a library. So this could be someone has found a piece of wisdom, like opened a book, and where it fell open to, it was like, aha, that's my answer. That's what I needed to know. Three of Cups in the reverse, Seven of Pentacles in the upright. Someone is aware right now that the reason they'd been kind of like hemming and hawing, wondering why something happened. But why did this happen this way? I can't move on from it until I find the answer. Someone has realized that the answer was, in this case, it wasn't time for me to play. It was time for me to put my energy into work because I'm going to have a greater harvest. This could have been, okay, I said this isn't going to be a love reading, but the Three of Cups can talk about like a happy reunion where we're back with people that we love. This could be about lovers coming together, but it can also be about like good times, celebrations. We might have been debating, should I go to this? Should I not? Hey, I can't seem to get the money together to buy that flight, to get to that reunion, to go hang out with my friends, or go to my high school reunion of 20 plus years, or to maybe it's all about like, why did I not come back into union with a lover? I need to figure this out. Like, why didn't it work? Or why did I have to make the choice that I made? Well, because now is the time for, basically, let's put it this way. I have a big garden, so that means I can't just go away for 3 weeks in the summer months. What will happen to my garden? I have to stay here and work on my garden, and later on I'm going to be real glad I did because I'm going to have the harvest. So when I travel, I'll travel later this year. I won't travel during the summer months, right? Because I need to tend to what I need to tend to so I can have that amazing harvest. Someone's come to that conclusion. They were pausing. They were wondering, why didn't it work out? Why didn't this lover come back to me? Oh, because it wasn't the right time. It was time for me to invest in other areas of life and perhaps that lover to do the same, because there's going to be a chance of greater success down the road, either for us as a duo or for us individually. Same thing. Ooh, could I go to that reunion? I really don't think it's a great idea. Let me look into my finances. Let me look at buying flights or whatever it is. You know what is not going to happen? I have to say no to this because I need to save my money. But later on, I could take a less expensive vacation and I could go to that town I used to live in and see all my old high school buddies one-on-one, just not at the big old high school reunion. So it could just be, the trade-off that we're making is for something better. So instead of having immediate gratification and maybe celebration and party, we're like, I'm going to do the prudent thing and I'm going to keep my head down and work a little bit longer and skip the party or not come back into union yet, but it's only because there's going to be a way bigger payout later. So somebody is very content with the choice that they've made. Okay, now let's go on to the Hierophant. So what's the area of the Hierophant referencing? Hierophant in this card, this deck is much more about, Chariot in the reverse. The Hierophant is about our lessons, right? Lessons from the universe, lessons from our higher self. It's lessons about what we believe in, how we form our beliefs. Our life is the classroom. The Hierophant can talk about how we view love and commitment and relationships and any positions of like authority and power. This says what we've learned about the things that we're going to commit ourselves to is, I'm not going to say yes unless it's a hard yes. The Chariot card says we're not moving forward because this is in the reverse. We're not moving forward in that yet. because we're not quite balanced yet. Again, doesn't mean that we're not going to do something. It just means that we're seeing a pause. And this could be in matters of, like, say it's, do I want to become a home owner? Maybe not yet. Maybe I researched it and I'm predicting that I'm going to wait until, whatever, I have a larger down payment because that'll lower everything else, or I can get a better mortgage rate, or, whatever it is, whatever the negotiation pieces are. I think I'm going to hold back a little because I've really looked at things, and that big commitment, it's not quite the right time for the big commitment yet. If it's about, do we rush forward and get married? This would say, if I have to ask, should I, then maybe that's a question to ask myself, is why am I asking, do I want to do this? Should be a confident yes, if it's a confident yes. And if it's not, then let me just give myself time and space to ask myself, why is it not? Now, it still may not be something that we really do delay on after we've asked ourselves that question. But if there's a question at all, it may be because we need to first know that answer before we proceed forward. Same thing. Did we read all the fine print before we said, yes, I will buy this company or take on this contract where I'm now going to be given this position of high level of authority? Do I really want this? Did I really read the full contract? Even if I think I want this job, there's going to be conditions that I want to make sure suit me. So I feel like this is someone, again, being very prudent, saying, I'm not going to rush myself. Everything here says, I don't want to have immediate gratification. I want to have long-term success. So I feel like in this case, with the Hierophant and then the Chariot in the reverse, and now we've got that Six of Swords in the reverse and the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, we are not ending anything. We are simply, this would be the equivalent of somebody offers us a job and we say, excellent, I'll look over all of the documents this week, but next week I'll let you know if I say yes to the job offer. I found what I think is a dream house. Now I want to sit down and talk about numbers, and maybe this isn't the dream house because those numbers aren't the dream numbers, but I need to first really contemplate. I'm not saying no, I'm not moving on from this, but I'm also not making an offer on this yet. There's a reason for that. There's more information that is needed. And part of it is someone is doing some soul searching, and they're giving themselves time and space to do the soul searching. If it's about a romance, a relationship, wait, are we going to rush into marriage right now? Even if it were already planned, maybe we need to slow this down a little bit. I'm not saying I don't want to. I'm just saying I'm not sure that everything is in perfect alignment. Maybe the timing is just not right. Maybe everything would feel rushed. It's someone's higher self and it could be two people that are both having this conversation, because there's two characters here. So we've got this awareness that just because I want something doesn't mean it has to be in this moment. I can give myself time and space to breathe, and it can still be mine, but I can do it at a more comfortable pace. If it's not comfortable, I'm not doing it yet. We keep seeing that. And then we have the Two of Wands in the reverse. Now, this is a card of confidence, right? This is a card of, okay, I'm not sitting on the fence. I'm sure now about which direction to go. Let's see what that's about. So in some area of life, we have confidence, and we're not waiting for, it's not like, oh, I hope that things get better and I get more. Wow, there's the Chariot in the upright. This is really nice. What we're seeing is a full turnaround. I'll put it in a context that's tangible. So I had decided about a year ago that I was going to move, and I knew that, but the time wasn't right. I don't know what I mean when I say the time wasn't right. It just wasn't right yet. I looked all the time at different places, different locations, but I knew I wasn't moving yet. And then I went ahead, and seemingly the time was all wrong for me to move. And yet all of a sudden I felt compelled. And it was just, whatever it is, now is go time. And I think it was probably me preparing myself mentally for a big change. I had to do it when my energy was up and when I just really thought things would fall into place, even though there were tons of obstacles, more so than in the past. And yet it worked. It was more about, like, I don't know, sometimes you're ready for something, but you can just feel it's not prudent yet. Don't push yourself to do it until you know you're going to be satisfied and you're ready to take on the obstacles, because life is going to be full of obstacles. So you got to be prepared for obstacles. And it worked. For me, it worked, but it was all because I waited until I was sure I personally was ready, even if there were still lots of blockages and lots of problems that I was going to face. So that's a tangible example. Sorry, I don't mean to make this about me. I'm just trying to give an example of, we kept having a character here who was, I understand why I delayed. Now there's another area of life that I'm saying, if I'm not truly ready to say yes, I'm not going to just say yes. I'm not going to be pushed into saying yes when I don't mean it. Now we're at a strong yes. Now it's like, okay, I can see clearly what I want and I'm moving directly towards something. So I think some of these are different areas of life. One was understanding why I didn't party or come into union with somebody. The next is why I didn't make a huge commitment to something. It's because I wasn't truly ready. I'm not walking away from it, but I'm also not truly ready. This could be about a marriage or some major sense of responsibility that I don't want to say yes to until I've really thought about it. And now this is about abundance. I don't doubt that abundance is mine, and I don't have to wait for abundance to come in. I actually go out there and get my abundance. I am the action taker. I am in this case, it's Julius Caesar that we see on that chariot. So a lot of Cancerian energy in this story. We have a Four of Wands actually came out in the reverse, a Prince of Swords in the upright, and an Eight of Swords. Ooh, this is very interesting because we're sure of where we're going to be successful, right? Positive. It is something that is important to us. It is not something that we don't require anybody else's assistance on it. The Four of Wands is in the reverse. This is not like, I don't need anybody else's approval. I'm not waiting for other people to give me offers. I'm going out and making my own opportunities. This may or may not be completely perfect, but it's what I got my sights set on. I want to experience this. I want to explore this. Is it the perfect job or the perfect time for me to start my own business? Well, maybe not, because I don't have a partner in it, but it's not about having a partner. I am forging ahead because this is my baby. This is my thing. Is this about relationships and romance? In this case, it would be a little bit, this is Loki, and Loki is god of chaos, right? It's a little bit like, you know what? I want to give this relationship a whirl. I don't know if they're going to turn out to be the, one and only love of my life, but I do know I want to go toward them. Because I can't get over this thought that I want to go do this. I want to give this a shot. I don't know how it'll turn out. On one hand, we never fully know how things will turn out, but my spirit moves me to say, I want to do this. I'll take the risk. So it's somebody who is stepping up, saying what they want, making the move, doing what they want to do because they're stuck on this idea. I want this anyway, so I'm just going to go for it. Signs and signals are all around me that there could be things that I still can't see about all of this, but I also am going to be unable to see it unless I just step in and get my feet in the water. So I have to say, this is like a personal achievement or something personally important where somebody goes, I don't need to wait on other people's opinions or other people to help me. This is mine. And because it's mine, is there a little bit of recklessness? I would say it's calculated restlessness because somebody feels very powerful and somebody feels like, I'm not waiting for others' approval on this. I'm going to go ahead and take that gamble because honestly, I'm stuck in my head over this anyway. So why don't I just go for it and see what happens? It's the only way I'll know is if I go ahead and I do the thing that I really want to try. Now, this isn't like risky, daring, Loki, yeah, god of chaos, but it also like the, what I really mean when I say that is the unknown. There's no guarantees how anything will work out in life. But I would say that the biggest message throughout this whole thing has been, we have a character who's very good at knowing when to hold them, knowing when to fold them. No, it's the Kenny Rogers thing. We have a character here who's really good at seeing that different areas of my life require me to assess things differently. Sometimes I figure out that the reason I chose not to do something or the reason I didn't come into union was because the timing wasn't right. Other areas of my life, the reason I don't feel good about saying yes to it is because I need to read the fine print. I need to allow myself, my heart, to say, I'm not saying a hard no, but I'm giving myself time and space to decide about this major commitment. And then other things in life, I'm going to say, I don't need to wait for things to get clearer or better. My heart says, do the thing that you don't know how it's going to turn out, but it's an important part of your growth. So this character is really, I would say that they're not wishy-washy. They apply a different set of thought processes to 3 different areas of their life. Do I make a big investment? Do I take on a huge responsibility? Not unless I feel like I really want that kind of responsibility. So let me think about it longer. Do I understand why something didn't work out in my life? Yes, it's because there's more growth that's coming out of this. And then when I see something that I truly want, do I wait for it to get easy? No, I step in and I go after it, even if it's a difficult thing, because I'm brave, I'm powerful. So what I like about this is that we've just shown the storyline of a character who is, they are not fearful, they are prudent, they are not cowardly, but they are also not hectic or disorganized. They are unafraid of trusting themselves in every situation they encounter. It requires them to think about their life with a slightly different perspective, to really contemplate, is this right? Do I want this? Do I not? This person checks in with themselves about what is appropriate for me. Doesn't matter what the rest of the world thinks. I ask my own self, do I want this? Does this work for me? Very self-possessed character is what I would say here. Always making the best decisions for themselves, and they are fearless and powerful when they decide that they want something and their heart says yes. Doesn't matter. I never held back out of fear. I held back because I'm intelligent and I think about things and I think through things, and I can also see sometimes I don't get something, but maybe there was a reason for that, or maybe I don't get to do everything I want, but it'll be for the best purpose. So this person doesn't get bitter about life either. All right, so final question. How is this person viewed by others? 9 of Wands is in the reverse. Someone who is never beat. Somebody who is like, there is no defeating this person. Our lead character here, Aries, if this is you, if you're identifying with this character here at all, others see you as someone who's never thrown by life. You have like a horrible thing's gonna happen. Like, oh my gosh, I just went to leave work and I walk out and it turns out while I was at work, my car got creamed by the dump truck that came by. And I didn't even know that happened. They never could figure out, who worked in what building. So now it just turns out, my car got creamed, and you just take it in stride. It's like other people would be like, what? That was a new car. Aren't you upset? And you'd be like, well, it looks like I'll be getting another new car. I mean, it's just life. Life happens. There's an attitude and an element of, look, some things we can predict, some things we can't. Mostly I get to choose how I respond, how I behave in any given circumstance. And that's where my power is. That's why we're never beat. This is not a wounded warrior card. This is somebody who's like, there isn't a certain amount of lessons you're going to learn. And then all of a sudden, everything's going to be roses because you learned them all. It is a never-ending cycle. So we better not let ourselves get too exhausted, because there's going to be a continual flow of situations. You've got to figure out, how do you want to act? How do you want to absorb this? What do you want to say yes or no to? And it's just like, I have this great capacity to take it in stride. 4 of Swords. Wow. People see you as extremely capable of healing. Like, you might have gone through a ton of really tough stuff and people know this, but they're like, God, you always have a way to like take the worst situation and be like, well, it's not as bad as it could be. It's like, serious? I would be totally crushed by this. And you're like, I've been through worse. There's this element of continual perseverance and continual like support and healing. Other people see you as someone who is very healing, very healed, and always able to handle whatever crap comes at them with grace. Why? Because you're the Emperor. Aries energy right there. People see you as a master of emotions, master of your life, a master at your craft, a master in your career path, a master of life in general. You do good. You're very admired. And then there's a shadow side and the 10 of Wands. And you know what? The other reason I think that people are seeing you in such a powerful light is because they know that you've had crap go down. They know you've had a shadow side. They know you've had a past. And they also know that you find a way to say, yeah, we all have a past. We all have bad stuff that happens. It's all in how you carry on. It's all in how you say, yes, I have a shadow side. Yes, I've dealt with that, but I love that side of me too, because that's where I really got to show myself what I'm made of, how I continue to soldier on, how I lay down fear, guilt, shame, remorse, all the negative stuff that's happened to me. I rise above it. I am more than that. So hugely inspirational is how our lead character comes across to others. So if that is you and you're identifying with that, awesome. That's a beautiful, beautiful vibe to send out and be an example of strength to others. Strength with a sense of like serious authenticity and a dose of like realism. It's like, well, yeah, my life has had some serious ups and downs. I've made some mistakes, blah blah blah. And it's like people like you and admire you more for admitting that, like, yeah, I'm not perfect. I just keep moving on though, because that's what we do here on this earth. And I think that gives you a much more powerful, like, this is why people admire you so much, is there was never like a squeaky clean image. It was like, what do you mean? Life is dirty and stinky and it's got boogers and, all that stuff. That's how life is. And I have boogers too, like there's just a sense of honesty that comes off of you that gives other people a sense of, wow, you can be that admirable and you can also be that flawed and have your own problems and stuff. That's really awesome. So really quite a wonderful leader is what you come across as in this storyline. So as always, these are fictional stories about fictional characters. I am not a psychic. I don't talk about anybody real. This is always storytelling. I hope that there's always something though that's fun to listen to, entertaining, or at least something where you go, okay, let's talk philosophically about this topic. That's what storytelling is, right? It's a chance to like exchange ideas and, argue about different points of perspective. But again, always keep it on this isn't about you. So take yourself out of it and then look instead at the characters. What do you think of the characters? My channel is different. I'm not a psychic. So that's why I frame my art the way I do, so that it's easier to understand. And then you can have more fun while you listen to it. If you enjoy it. And if you do, please give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe to my channel. You guys take care. Thanks for being with me. Bye.